It's your Fairy Queen, and today I want to talk about a show that really spoke to me, Dreaming Whilst Black. Now, if you've seen it, you already know how powerful it is. But if you haven't, Dreaming Whilst Black uncovers the many layers of what it means to be a Black Briton navigating life in the UK while pursuing your dream. I felt called to talk about it because this show doesn't just tell a story, it reveals one of many. It is raw, it's real, and it gives voices to experiences that often go unseen. It offers hope, but it also tells you the truth. The story follows Kwabena Robinson, an aspiring filmmaker who's stuck working in recruitment. He's creative, passionate, and full of dreams, but he's trying to find his place in a world that doesn't always make room for him. And that, my loves, is something many of us can relate to. As your Fairy Queen, I want to share my reflections and explore what tapping into your greatness can look like when life feels like Kwabena's, full of ambition, but layered with obstacles. Because throughout his journey, Kwabena faces so many things that mirror real life. He's trapped in a job that doesn't fulfill him, seen as the spokesperson for all Black people by his white colleagues, not always recognized as a person, rather as a color. Constantly daydreaming, not because he's lazy, but because real life doesn't feel safe enough to be bold in. Falling in love and trying to date while juggling his creative grind. Living in an expensive city, sharing spaces with roommates just to survive. Witnessing the reality of Black maternity and all the dangers that come with it. Carrying the weight of generational trauma. Navigating colorism and microaggressions. Moving back home and dealing with what that means for his sense of pride and independence. Facing an industry that preaches diversity but rarely practices it, from floor productions to executive rooms. Seeing how pathways and programs for new talent can often be illusions of opportunity, shiny promises that go nowhere. Dealing with tokenism and the pressure to sell out just to survive in a world where even basic needs cost too much. Trying to stay truthful with friends when the truth, or that truth, can hurt. Battling the voices in his head that question his worth, his timing, his dream. Learning to release himself from all the expectations, family, society, culture, and just breathe. Making mistakes, getting fired, and having to rebuild. Learning the uncomfortable truth about the heroes and mentors he once admired. Facing challenges even within his own community. And realizing in the end that no matter how you played it, you still have to play the game of life, even when it feels unfair and rigged. And after all of that, he learned something powerful. That the so-called pinnacle of success doesn't always feel sweet. Not if the journey took too much from you on the way. What makes Dreaming Whilst Black so beautiful is its honesty. It shows us the messiness of chasing something bigger than ourselves. It's comedic, heartfelt, and painfully real all at once. Kwabena struggles with self-awareness and identity, and that's okay, because becoming self-aware doesn't happen overnight. It happens through trial and error, through heartbreak and hope, through every lesson life throws our way. And that's what this show captures perfectly, the grace to grow. It reminds us that success doesn't always bring fulfillment. Fulfillment comes when our actions and choices align with our integrity, when we live in peace with who we are and how we move. Integrity isn't perfection, it's presence. It's being honest with yourself and gentle with your journey. So as you chase your dreams, don't lose sight of your integrity and your sense of self. Find your tribe, the people who let you be soft and strong. The ones who remind you that you don't have to compromise your truth to shine. Because when your circle is genuine, your spirit stays grounded. Now, towards the end of season 2, Kwabena says something that stayed with me long after the episode ended. He said, and I quote, "I've learned that equality may not mean freedom, and freedom may not mean liberation. Change may not mean revolution. Babylon must burn." Now that line, it hits deep. Babylon must burn is a phrase that in Rastafarian belief speaks to the destruction of corrupt systems that keep people trapped, tired, and struggling. And as for people like Kwabena, those systems show up in the way how he's treated, how he's perceived, even down to his name. But through all of it, he keeps creating. He keeps dreaming. He keeps shining a light on uncomfortable truths and does it with humor, heart, and soul. And what I love most is that he is not alone. Every character in the series is chasing something, their own version of the dream. Even when things fall apart, they still have each other. So my lovelies, as you move through your own journey, stay aware of yourself, of your surroundings, of the energy you keep. Live with integrity. And remember, you don't have to wait for your big break to live your dream. You can live it daily in how you show up, how you speak your truth, and how you love. You will face challenges. You will make mistakes. But through it all, keep your sense of self close. Your fairy queen energy, your inner light, your purpose. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Fairyqueen Talks. Until next time, keep shining, keep dreaming, and keep being unapologetically you.